if there is one thing that you absolutely need to master when it comes to scaling your company, your revenue to that multiple six-figure mark per month or even seven-figure months, is your ability to craft authority infused and trust building email sequence, because those are going to play a massive role when it comes to converting your prospects into buyer. And one of the biggest mistakes which I see when I consult businesses and I audit their marketing strategy is that most of them are still relying on very outdated email sequence and or just very surface level reminder type of email, and they expect those to do the heavy lifting and convert their reader into buyer. Couldn't be further from the truth. In today's day and age, you need to have a more unique and a brand new approach, which I'm going to break down in this video. It's really going to be a bit of an in-depth video, and I'm even going to share my screen to show you exactly how we implemented this in February of this year, actually, a couple of months ago, to help one of our clients get $500,000 additional revenue in 10 days. That's $500,000 cash collected in 10 days by implementing this strategy. So if you actually go ahead and actually, put this into practice, I have no doubt that you can actually see an extra six-figure, that's $100,000, all the way up to $700,000 or even $1 million per month in your company. If it's the first time you come across my content, my name is Jolie Dematio. I run Dragon Consulting. We are an advertising agency and we work with clients, primarily online business owner, service provider, and helping them really scale their impact and their income, leveraging social media ads and also sales system. Now, today's video is really all about the back end, because one of the biggest mistakes which I see after having worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs over the past 4 years and really helping them get to that multiple six-figure month mark, that multiple seven-figure year mark, is that some of them, prior to us working together, they feel like the heavy lifting when it comes to them converting a prospect into a buyer is going to come from their organic content, or it's going to come from their front-end ads. Couldn't be further from the truth. We are currently in the trust recession, which means that your content or even your ad has the goal to get you that awareness, to get you some of that trust, and getting them to buy into what you have to sell. But you need to have multiple touch points. You need to have multiple locations when you actually indoctrinate your audience and get them in and turn them into clients. And your email is one of the prime ways where you can make that happen. So I'm going to share my screen right now and show you exactly how you want to structure those authority infused and trust building, those email sequence. Now, this is not going to be a beginner training, to be completely honest. This training is going to probably be most effective for you if you're in a place where you are running ads, where you have an email list that's, of a significant size and that you're actually eager to monetize. So I'm really going to cover here how to dramatically improve your show rate. So if you are running a call funnel of any type, if you are running maybe a webinar, you want people to attend the webinar, or you have a masterclass or a challenge that's live, this is going to be perfect for you. It's really going to help you as well shorten your sales cycle, right? And increase the volume of paying full and cash collected that you get after someone attend one of your live events or get on the sales call with you or with your team. Why most business owners fail when it comes to implementing email sequences, because again, they have those generic and just reminder-based surface level email. And you don't want to keep on doing that if that's what you've been doing in the past, right? So, and I'm also going to share I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly that email sequence that we've built for a client and that we've actually launched, and that has helped them make $500,000 in just 10 days. And you can actually go ahead and just swipe the framework. Of course, I'm going to hide the email because that's those are proprietary sales asset for the client specifically, but you actually is going to have the framework that you can kind of swipe and learn from. Now, the biggest problem with current email sequences is that, they use very pushy languages, right? Things like saying, do your homework, or go here and, fill out this form. And then don't really articulate the value of what you're asking people to do, right? Go here and read this blog post, or go here and watch the video, or go here and listen to the podcast. But you're not telling them on why they should do that. You have to realize that every single action that you ask people to do, there needs to be a compelling reason why they should do it. Otherwise, they just won't, right? Because people are just lazy. And unless you are helping them run away from a pain point or going toward a pleasure or a desire of them, Nothing is going to happen. And you have to, for every single action that you ask them to take, you need to sell them on why they should do that. So not being able to articulate the value of why you are asking them to do what, an action or the other is also one of the reasons why your email sequences fail to achieve the desired goal. Another biggest mistake that I see a lot of business owners make is that, okay, we are going to withhold all the information, all the good stuff until the sales call happen. And what they don't realize is that that's actually increased resistance, because people are only going to show up for your call if they feel like it's going to be a good investment of their time, right? Just because someone has scheduled a call doesn't mean that they're going to show up. Just because someone has signed up for your webinar, for your challenge, doesn't mean that they're going to show up. You need to sell them on showing up after you're selling them on just signing up for the thing, right? And sometimes we think, okay, let's just keep everything for the event, and we are going to wow them in the event and all the things. But you won't even be able to wow them in the event if they don't show up. So what you want to do here is actually have this authority infused and trust building email sequence that's designed to sell them on why they should be there live with you, right? And the fourth mistake is that they marketer and business owner are using shallow content, right? That don't really address free question, that don't really build intrigue, that don't even build excitement or anticipation for the event. So of course, those emails have an incredibly low open rate. They have barely inexistent click-through rate, and you just leave your audience forgetting about who you are and why they should even, show up in the first place. And one of the biggest things which I want you to realize is that buyers seek information before they purchase, right? And the more informed, the more educated your buyer is, the more likely they are to make a bigger investment when it comes to working with your company. And it's very counterintuitive, because sometimes we think, okay, the more I will hold information from them, the less I share with them, the more I hide behind the wall of my paid program, the more they're going to invest and work with me. Couldn't be further from the truth. The more you give, the more you get, right? The more you give, the more trust you build. The more you give, the more authority you establish, and the more likely and the more eager people are to invest, because they think, okay, if they've given me so much for free, what more can I get on the back end, right? And you want to attract educated buyer, you want to attract sophisticated buyer, because sophisticated buyer have the likelihood and have the ability to actually invest more. They value you more, they value your expertise, they treat you better, they pay on time, they stay longer, and they also refer you to more clients down the line. So it's a win-win situation. And once you have someone that have signed up for your sales call, for your webinar, for your masterclass, you want to realize that they've already shown consent to learn, to hear from you, to learn from you. Now it's up to you to, you know, live up to that desire that they have, and actually wow them with content before the event actually occurs. And when you and the drawback really of withholding information prior to the main event happening is that you dramatically decrease your show rate, right? Because people are like, okay, why should I even show up for that thing? I have something else. Something else came up, right? There's no excitement for them to show up. You extend the sales cycle unnecessarily, because people get on the call and they have questions like, oh my God, why is this different? I've tried this competitor and the payment is too expensive for me. I'm going to do it next month. I need to speak with my wife. They come up on the event, that whether it's your sales call or your webinar, again, they have all of those basic questions that could have been handled prior to them even speaking with you or meeting you. And so you end up extending unnecessarily your sales cycle, because they now need to go back and think about it before they even, before they make a decision. And fourth, third reason is that you reduce your chances of getting paid in full, right? Because people are going to get on a call, start to bargain with you, ask for payment plan. Before you know it, your cash collected for that month, for that year, has shrinked, because you didn't do a good job enough at really converting and nurturing those people, and before they even got on the call with you. So your single most important job as the business owner, as the founder, as the marketing leader, is to address question before they arrive at the sale conversation. You want to address all of their question, and you want to address all of their frustration, you know, the frustration, the doubts before they get on the call with you. And so I've built this framework to really share with you how this sequence work. Again, the goal here is really want to convert those prospects, those hot leads, those warm leads into high ticket clients. And so the first thing start with you creating content or you running ads and getting people to schedule a call or sign up for an event that you are having, whether it's a workshop, a master class, a challenge, a webinar, it doesn't really matter. They've watched content from you, they've became aware of what you have to do, of what you are doing, and when they had and they booked the call or they sign up for your event. Now, after they sign up for the event, that's where this authority infused and trust building sequence gets triggered. The goal of the sequence is actually to pre-frame your prospect and indoctrinate them to a point where when they show up for the call, they have a high intent of purchasing, right? It's the fastest way to convert them from, should I even do it, to be like, oh my God, I made this thing like yesterday. Where do I pay, right? And so we're going to talk about the email frequency, and we're also going to talk about which type of content you want to have inside this sequence specifically, and depending on whether you are running a call funnel, a webinar funnel, and how to monitor results and adjust your strategy based on those results, right? So first thing that I want to say is that when it comes to the frequency of sending these emails, I want you to share something with you, right? Which is most business owners are afraid, right? They are afraid of sending too many emails. They're like, okay, let's send one email per week, or let's send one email every 2 weeks. And what happens when you do that is that you actually forgotten by your audience that because they're receiving, like, on average, you and I are receiving about 10, 20 emails a day. So if you're emailing your prospect once a week or once every other week, by the time they even get your email, they're always like, okay, who is this person again? Why did I sign up for this thing? They've forgotten about you. So our data has shown, because I have a background in data science, so I always look at data to inform decision and and take action based on that data. And our data has shown that you can actually send anywhere from 5 to 6 email a day without harming your delivery, right? If you have a reputable domain, if you have your emails are warmed up and have a good delivery, you can actually send up to 5 to 6 email a day when you are in the launch, when you are really running those, high frequency funnel, like, be sales call funnel or a webinar funnel. Now, open rate do not diminish with increased frequency. And you might actually be surprised and even shocked by that. But the reason why open rate don't diminish with increased frequency is because your emails have to build value. They have to give value to the reader. If they do, it's like they are reading a novel. It's like they're reading a fiction, a roman, or they're reading like a non-fiction book. If you're reading a non-fiction book, you don't go, oh my God, this book is like 200 pages, is too long. I'm just going to stop after the fifth page. Now, if the book is interesting, whether it's 100 page or 500 page, you are most likely to actually read through the whole thing. So you need to craft your email sequence with those open loops and those intrigue, and having those cliffhanger that are inside the email, and that really lead them to want to learn more, and they want to hear from you. And that's what makes this email, that's why the open rate is not affected. Also, what you want to track is anywhere from a 50 to 70% open rate. That's what we like to see. And about anywhere from a 5 to 10% click-through rate, right? If you are getting only a 2 to 5% click-through rate, it means that your email must be in themselves consumable. And what I mean by consumable here, I mean you need to convert whatever value you were trying to get them to click and learn from in the email. You need to translate that value inside the email itself. So that if they don't want to, they don't have to click to get the value, right? Because let's say, for instance, that you're getting 70% or 60% open rate on your emails, but only 2% of click-through rate. You are effectively reducing drastically the number of people that are actually going to see that result that they've clicked to watch. So let's say if it was a sales asset, it was a video. If it's only 2% click-through rate, you've drastically reduce that volume of people. But if you turn that video into the email itself, right? Just because they've clicked, it means that by reading the email, they're going to consume the content of that video. So that's why the lower your CTR are, the more of a consumable email you want, and maybe the longer email you want to have. And when it comes to finding the sweet spot in terms of your email frequency, you actually want to monitor closely your open rate and your click-through rate, because those are going to inform how frequently you want to keep on sending the email, right? We have clients for which we send, 5 email a day with no issue whatsoever. And we have other for which we send 3 emails a day, and we see a diminishing return, we see a decrease in open rate and CTR, the more email we send. And in that case, of course, we stop sending. So you really have to monitor this for your odd email based on your audience, based on how much email you've sent in the past. All of those things are going to play a role, right? And so for call funnel specifically, the shorter the window is after the call, the shorter the window, the time frame is between the moment in which they schedule a call and the moment in which they're going to get on the call with you and your sales team, the more email you want to send, right? Let's say that they schedule a call today and the call is happening in 48 hours. That you want to send like maybe 4 or 5 email a day leading up to the call. If you're running a webinar or a live event funnel, you might have a 1 or 2 week windows where you between the moment in which they sign up and the moment in which the event happens. Now, in that case, you want to send fewer email. You want to send fewer email at first, right? You want to send maybe 1 email a day, 1 email every other day. And the closer you get to the event, maybe like 5 days before the event, there you want to start increasing your email frequency, right? And something which I always advise clients to do, and that we've seen the biggest impact on when we actually implement, is actually complementing your email strategy with an omnipresent content retargeting strategy. Now, this strategy consists of not just relying on email to stay top of mind, but also having at any time anywhere from 20 to 40 pieces of content. This can be short form content or long form content or a combination of both that you are going to run as video ads and video views campaign or targeting ad on YouTube, on Facebook to stay top of mind leading up to the event. That's going again to increase show up rate, to increase that brand authority, and to increase that trust leading up to the event. Very important, very strategic. Also, because with the content retargeting strategy, the omnipresent one, you can actually reach out 100% of your audience. With the email, you are not going to get 100% open rate ever, but with retargeting them with content, you can actually reach out to all of them, with the ads, which is wonderful. Now, what makes this strategy works beautifully, like this email sequence specifically works, is that when you are writing this email, you want to treat this email as they are consumable, as if they are the sales asset, right? The goal of the email is not to drive them to a specific content, not to drive them to your Facebook page or to your podcast or to your YouTube channel. No, the goal of the email is really to indoctrinate them, to position yourself as an authority, to showcase your results, what you've been able to achieve for your clients, to answer their questions, to handle their objections, to infuse as much trust and belief in themselves about their ability to achieve whatever result they are going after through your coaching, but also infuse that belief in you as the coach, as the leader, to get them where they want to be, right? And you do so by showing those case studies, those testimonials in the email. So really treat each one of these email as marketing assets themselves that can be standalone products, right? Because again, with the CTR, not all of them might be able to see whatever other resource you have on the back end. The second thing that you want to keep in mind if you want to make this work is actually you want to structure this email to be comprehensive, fully comprehensive. This might be really long form emails, that's fine, because what we've seen is that long form, when people are in the buying, when people have the higher the buying intent of your prospect are, the more attention they're going to give, the more investment of time they're going to be willing to put into whatever you have to say. And so typically business owners are thinking, oh my God, these emails are so long, no one is going to read them. You are wrong. We are literally treating this email like mini sales letter, and every single email is hitting a very specific buying trigger that are designed to drive our prospect closer to the buying purchase. That's the goal. That's the fundamental goal with this thing, with these emails. So treat them as mini sales page, literally. And when it comes to the content, you also want to think about how can I answer every single question that come up in my sales conversation, that come up when I do this live event, that might be holding my prospect back from purchasing, right? And so address both the objections that are stopping them from buying, but also why made them buy, what made them buy, and listening to your sales call, speaking with your sales team, reading through the comment in the chat, downloading the chat after you've done a live event, and looking at those questions in the comment in the chat section is really a gold mine where you can actually understand exactly what made someone buy, what clicked for them, why they didn't purchase, why it wasn't the right time. And all of those information can literally be used to create the most powerful sequence ever. And by powerful, I mean here high converting email sequence ever, right? And so in terms of resources, talk to your sales team, download the charts of when you do a webinar, and really think about, ask question like, okay, what question people are consistently asking, what is greasing the wheel to get deals done, what's like an amplifier, what's a trigger to get them to buy, what prevents people from closing on the first call, right? What are those most common objection? What do they say when they hear the price point? Are they shocked? Are they like, oh my god, this is outside of my range? Maybe you need to introduce, like, you need to, even on your application page or even on your VS, you need to make clear, okay, this is a 4-figure investment, it's a 5-figure investment, so that you kind of propel those type of prospect, right? And then what makes them say yes, I mean, immediately, what are those things? All of those is really gold mine. And so here's an example of one of our plans that we, again, that this is sales sequence that we actually leverage to help them make, $500,000 in 10 days. And so you can start this the entire like marketing asset file that we typically build when we are working with the client and we are developing whether that's a launch strategy or they are running a sales call funnel. So we start here by so this email sequence is broken down into 4 main parts. So the first part is the invite sequence. So this client specifically was running a live challenge that a live event that we then turn into an evergreen event. And so it's broken down into 4 parts, right? The first part is all about inviting the current listening to the event. So this invite email that we have here, 7 email, and every one of these emails is really hitting at a different reason why they should attend. So the first email is just telling them about the story and why it's this amazing event to show up for. The second one is really hinting at what they will learn in the event and building anticipation. The third email is actually announcing the event and being like, okay, the registration is open, go here and sign up. The fourth email is really value add, educational, creating really letting them know why they should actually be there, and why they will learn from being there. Fifth email, hunting the objection, because why wouldn't they show up? What's going on in their mind that might prevent them from showing up to the events? 6, sharing success story of people that just came to the event, what they had to say, how it impacted their life, what they said about the company and all that stuff. Really sharing those success and really creating that trust and getting them on the edge. And then the third email is really the last chance for them to go ahead and sign up. This is just the email to invite the list to the workshop. Now, the second block of email here is up when someone signed up, right? After they say, yes, I'm in, what happens here? We have the second block of email and we have the confirmation email upon them signing up, and then you have a nurture sequence, and you have here 5 nurture email. Every one of these nurture email, again, is story based. It's designed to get them on the edge, get them to see the value, remind them of the story behind the events, and why they should be there live. After the nurture email, we have the reminder emails. Now, this is the reminder email are coming prior to the event. So we have the reminder email. Typically, we launch them 72 hours before the event happens. So these are going to be a combination of SMS and email. Something which is important to realize that when someone sign up for the event, you also want to send them an SMS confirmation and letting them know that you're going to send them reminder SMS down the line. So this reminder SMS and email are really triggered 72 hours before the event happened, right? And here you have about 5 email as well, just for the reminders. to make sure they show up again. That's what you want to have in mind. Just because someone has signed up doesn't mean that they're going to show up, right? And someone needs several touch points before they show up. And something which I also want to make clear is that these are not basic reminder emails. These are not like show up for the call. This is happening tomorrow. Please show up. These are actually value driven email, right? Every one of these emails has a story behind it, has a compelling why, has a strong buying or has a strong psychological trigger that's going to get them to want to shop and want to, attend the event. That's the key. And then we have the post-workshop sequences after the event has happened, or this can also be after your sales call if they haven't purchased, right? We have this post-workshop sequence. Now, the first email is thank you for showing up for the call, or thank you for attending the events. And this is actually sent, this is one of the highest converting emails that send right after the event or right after the sales call happened. Thank you for showing up. Love chatting with you. I know, I've heard you. I know we can help you. If you want to take advantage of what I've shared in the event, here's the link. Go and snag your seat. Go and secure your spot. We've literally seen about 20% of the entire revenue coming from a launch attributed to this single email, right? And you actually want to send this email ideally anywhere from 4 to 5 hours after the event has happened. It doesn't. You don't want to send it automatically because it looks like it is automated email. So you want a couple of hours to go by. I like to set this 4 hours before you actually send this thank you email, and it's so incredibly powerful. After the thank you email, we have about 12 other emails that are sent. We have, for instance, here the feedback email, asking them what they thought about the event, what they didn't like, why they didn't purchase. The replay, we send them the replay and we recap what they've learned in the events. We have the last chance because the replay is going away. We have the replay up for max 72 hours and then it goes when we focus on promoting the offer. And then the email 5 to email 12, we are really hitting on different objections. So what objections our client have that are preventing them from buying, right? Maybe it's finding client, or maybe your price is too high, or I've bought something similar in the past, or I'm not sure if I'm going to get the ROI that to make this investment profitable for me, right? And then you want to share success stories with them as well. And then you have the card closing sequences after the nurturing emails, the reminder emails, the post-workshop sequence. It ends with the card closing. The card closing is a quite powerful segment in the email sequence because we typically see about 40%, anywhere from 30 to 40% of revenue that's coming from the card close sequence, right? Quite interesting because people don't move unless there's an urgency, right? Unless they see that what they are desiring is going away very soon. And so we like to have anywhere from 3 to 5 card closing emails that are going out in the span of typically 2 max 3 days. And these are really designed to get them on their thought and get them to purchase. We like to also include the FAQ email, like that's frequently asked questions that we've maybe have come up on the chat, that have come up on the sales call, and we say, okay, here's your FAQ, let's answer your frequently asked question. Again, this is really to get those readers that are still on the fence, get them on the edge and get them to pull the trigger. So that's an example of, and then of course you want to have the card close. And after the card close, we also like sometimes to include a survey email and asking them, okay, why didn't you buy this time? What didn't resonate with you, and what could we have done better? And typically those allow us to really make a better workshop next time, to make a better event next time, because we know why some people didn't buy. And it's always better when you hear from them directly, because it really informs how you can improve your marketing down the line, right? So when you implement this properly, you can actually see a substantial increase in your show rate. You are going to see faster, shorter sales cycle. You are going to increase the volume of cash collected that you get on a consistent basis, because you're going to have more people paying in full, which is wonderful. And you're going to have overall a better ROI on your marketing spend, and which is what I want from you. And you want to think about your backend, your email sequence as really being that super booster of your performance. You don't want just to rely on what's happening on the front end. You want to really leverage and prioritize what's happening on the back end, because that's where a lot of sales is made. And a lot of sales are made, and that's why I see a lot of business owners just miss the mark because they're tired, they don't have the bandwidth, they don't have the expertise. So if you're looking for someone to come in and help you implement such a system in your company to help you grow to the next level, feel free to reach out. Me and my team, that's what we do all day, every day for our clients. We help them build and implement advertising and acquisition system design to grow their brand, grow their profit, grow their impact in a way that's profitable, that's sustainable, and that's scalable. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out. If you got value from this episode, please leave a thumbs up, share it with someone that you want to see succeed. And if you have any question whatsoever, drop me an email at jolitematio.co. Leave it in the comment section or just hit me up on LinkedIn at jolitematio or on IG at jolitematio. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Thank you for being here. I value and I appreciate your attention. Like always, keep learning, keep growing, and never, never stop scaling. I'll see you soon.